Testing, testing. Is this thing on? I've got something to say. Hey, what's up, everybody? Crapgamer here. Obviously, Crapgamer reviews. I had a little bit of time, lunch, so I figured why not do a video and talk a little bit about what I had seen yesterday on the Inside Xbox show. Now, the funny thing is, I didn't actually say anything yesterday for multiple reasons, right? One of the main reasons is you can't really say much these days without people taking it the wrong way. So I wanted to kind of digest what I had seen and as well as sort of, kind of maybe go back and take another look at it, which I did. And first of all, right away, I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of people that'll go, hey, crap. If you don't like it, why watch it? Well, you know what? I do a thing called YouTube and I do gaming YouTube. And so you have to watch stuff like that. It's like, in the future, I'll be a little bit more careful, maybe just catch the highlights or whatever. But, when you do podcasts, I do like 3 podcasts a week. You've got to be able to sort of talk about the things that you see. And so I think it's very important to sort of do that. Now, the other side is people will say this, hey, crap, why don't you just get rid of your Xbox then? Sell your Xbox. That is the most asinine, idiotic, ignorant thing I've ever heard in my life when people say that, because I still have my original consoles from the 80s. So why the hell would I get rid of my Xbox now? It makes no sense. I am happy with certain aspects of Xbox and very unhappy with other aspects. And I feel like anybody who sits there and says that they absolutely love what we saw yesterday, you're probably not a true Xbox fan, so to speak. So what I mean by that is you're going to see lots of people damage control and pretend like it was a great show. And, oh, man, what a great time. What a great time. The bottom line is a lot of people that are going to do that probably game a lot on PC and other platforms to begin with. And so those are the ones that tend to be a lot more fine with a lot of the things that Microsoft's doing. Options, folks. It's options. Who cares about options, right? Options. It's great. They're giving us more options, right? Like, I find that to be an asinine thing to say because I don't really care about the streaming thing, right? I get it. The industry's going that way. I don't really care about that. But this show yesterday, I am at a loss for words on what the hell that was supposed to be, right? This could have been tweets. This could have been an Xbox Wire thing, but they had to bring this like pandering nonsense out, which, by the way, if you're just joining me, please hit that like button, share it out. I would really appreciate that as well. If you guys wouldn't mind doing that, it would help me out tremendously. So yeah, I was like, wow, like this was the shortest one. So thankfully it was the shortest Inside Xbox, right? And thank goodness, I'm thrilled that they actually sort of let it be a short to the point kind of thing. But when it starts off, right, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, this is cool, this is interesting, and then they start off with PC stuff, right? I don't even think they mentioned the Xbox the entire time, right? So that was a little bit something to get a little bit pissy about, I guess. They just start right in on the PC stuff, right? I don't like that. I'm a console guy. Most Xbox fans are console guys. Everybody goes, Xbox is okay, Xbox is okay, Xbox is okay. Well, the fact of the matter is, Xbox as a console is doing piss poor. You look at what they did in the month of February, NPD, right? And those numbers came out 52,000. 52,000, right? That right there is Wii U numbers. That's Wii U numbers. That's absolutely insane low numbers, insanely low numbers. People aren't buying Xbox. That's just a fact. I think that they're going to have the most powerful console, and I think that there's going to be a contingent of people that are going to like that. But at this point, you have to almost question if Sony just comes out with a more traditional console and they're not trying to sell you a side order of political correctness and a side order of this and a side order of that and an order of culture, and you know what I mean? It's like you got to put up with all these like internal messages and stuff. Like, I almost felt like yesterday's Inside Xbox was brought to you by Hillary Clinton for 2020 for president, right? Like, I just don't understand why they're mixing all this stuff up with video games. And to me, it makes no sense. Talk about some video games. Now, Inside Xbox, it should be what? A hardcore thing, right? And I know people go, well, maybe that's not really intended for hardcore gamers. How the hell is that not intended for hardcore gamers, right? Think about it. It's on an Xbox dashboard, meaning you pretty much already have to have that, right? It's like you get it on social media, which usually hardcore gamers are on social media. So I do not understand or believe that that is not intended for hardcore gamers, right? So give us hardcore stuff that we want. The stuff that they announced on there did not need to be announced there, right? I get it. Halo Reach, cool stuff. I like that game. That game's 9 years old though. And what else did we get? That was like the more and one more thing type situation, right? It should have been, hey, Xbox fans, Xbox owners, you're getting Halo Reach 4K 60 and for free to the Master Chief Collection, right? No, instead it's, yeah, you can play the multiplayer for free, but then you got to buy the campaign, huh? Buy the campaign, huh? Buy the campaign, huh? I do not understand that. I do not understand why we got to buy the campaign, but yet if you have Game Pass, you get it for free. And I believe that the PC crowd, they have to buy the games individually or something, but you know, it's just one lump sum or whatever. So yeah, kind of a slap in the face there as well. Like you got to buy the campaign, buy the campaign, buy the campaign. Really interesting. So I found that to be not only very interesting, but off-putting as well. And for me personally, it's, you know, I get that a lot of people get offended or whatever. I'm not that guy, right? I could have said numerous things yesterday and I would have been called all types of names. People would have been like, craps this or that. So now, you know, I kind of check what I say, and I, you know, because you have to do that in today's world, you have to lawyer up a bit. So it's easy for me to just go, you know, this isn't the same Xbox. I get that. But can I maybe just get some news and information without a side of other crap as well? Like Sony talks about video games, but they aren't shoving a bunch of stuff down your throat. And I think that's sort of what I like about what they do right now. And that's not to say that, oh, he's a pony now, or he's this now, or he's that now, because, you know, that's not the case. I'm, you know, excited about Xbox, the power of the Xbox anyway. You know, there's obviously a lot of other stuff that we're going to talk about tonight on Xbox Nation, and we're going to get other people's input. I have a hell of a topic list, by the way, but you know, just kind of sticking to what we saw yesterday. One of the main things that Microsoft has done with with how they screw up, right? You guys want to know how Microsoft screws up all the time? I'm sure some of you guys know. Um, you know, Microsoft bumbles their messages more times than not. And what do I mean by they bumble their message? Look at the original Xbox One message. Do we even know what they were aiming for with that? Most people don't still to this day. People assume that you couldn't do, you know, that you can't do used games, or it's a 24-hour check-in. We never really got a full on explanation. You know, we got semi explanations from multiple different people, right? But we never got a full on explanation as to what exactly we would be seeing. And I find that to be the main thing that Microsoft does. Remember when Sony did, and I did a video about this. I think I did a live stream about this, right? Kind of jokingly about how Sony had no more exclusives because they were doing remote play, which they've been doing remote play for a while now, right? So I get that. More kind of a jokingly type of thing. Okay. So for me personally, when you see stuff like this happen, and then you see Sony the way that they did the remote play thing, they didn't like confuse people for months and months or years leading up to the remote play. They said, okay, here's an update. You can do this if you want to, or don't. We don't care, right? Microsoft would have confused everybody, pissed everybody off for months and months, and then released a half-broken product, right? That's what Microsoft does. So they have this xCloud stuff that they're betting heavily on, right? 2 billion gamers. Well, I mean, obviously they care more about this xCloud stuff than they care about Xbox gamers and the Xbox console itself, because that's all they talk about is PC and xCloud nowadays, right? Go back and look at it. You don't believe me? PC and xCloud. That's what they talk about. PC and xCloud, folks. So they talk about this xCloud stuff, right? And this should have been like something that maybe Phil Spencer demonstrated or like a professional demonstrated, but they got Julia Hardy up there on a smartphone, and it's either one of two things with this demo, right? Either the demo was completely fake, right? Completely fake, and she wasn't really playing it, or there is so much latency and lag in there that this thing's going to be a complete mess, and they've been kind of fooling us all along with this, right? Like, I personally will never use any of this kind of stuff, right? I don't care about game streaming on any platform. All the companies are going to do it. I totally agree with that, and I get it. But for me personally, it looked horrible. Like, go back and watch it. The movements were not milliseconds, they were seconds from pressing the button, right? Like then gradually moving to the left and gradually moving to the right. That does not look fun to me. You have this ridiculous Xbox controller hooked up to this phone. Like how long is that going to last people out in the wild? Right? Are people going to carry an Xbox controller with them everywhere they go? Or are you going to use touchscreen? Like this is a totally ridiculous thing anyway. Like I would just love Microsoft to just go balls to the wall with with the amazing tech that they have, right? There's so many things that they can do, and the fact that they just don't even pay any attention to the console brand anymore sort of grinds my gears a bit. You know what I mean? Like I don't get it. I'm sort of at a loss for words, but then again, I get it because some people aren't going to like that I'm negative all the time, man. Well, Crap isn't negative all the time, man. Crap speaks his mind. I'm not a shiny, happy person. I'm not a fraud. I'm not out there going to pretend like I'm happy about something when I'm really not, because there's a lot of people that'll do that for you. And I could recommend some people, but I'm not an asshole. So, it's one of those things with, Reclaimer. I don't travel with the Switch. I know some people do because the Switch is a mobile thing. I know some people, I guess, use a 3DS or have used a Vita in the past or whatever. But isn't that different than carrying a big old bulky controller though? Xbox controllers are kind of bulky, right? Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of ridiculous to kind of look at how this is going to actually be a thing, and then how long is the battery going to last? Like, I don't know, there's a lot of different things going on with this that I find a little bit curious, right? So again, the xCloud stuff, this needed to be done professionally. You needed to have people that are really showcasing this, not this half-ass kind of, okay, now here we are, I'm touching the controls to go left, and then three seconds later it's responded. Like, that's not a good look, just in my opinion. Like, if they're trying to sell people on that, then yeah, that's probably not the best way to do it. Now, onto the Master Chief Collection stuff, which, by the way, hey, cool, right? Coming to PC, that was like the worst leak ever. Like, we all knew that was coming to PC. They were fixing it up. This is where Microsoft differs from a lot of other companies when they come to stuff. Like, if I sit there and ask you guys in the chat, so Master Chief Collection is going to PC. Is it going to have crossplay with Xbox? Can we disable the crossplay? When's the release date? Why do we got to pay for the campaign if we own it on Xbox already? Is it play anywhere? Why is it going to Steam when all Steam people do is make fun of Xbox nonstop? So, I would just kind of ask you guys that question. Like, what answers did we get to any of that stuff, right? Like, do they expect us to get like just overly excited about a 9-year-old game getting remastered, and that we have to pay for again, even though we kind of suffered with the Master Chief Collection for years and years? How's the crossplay going to work? Just interesting. A hidden figure. I just talked about that a little bit. I have to be careful when I talk about that kind of stuff, right? Because people can take things a little bit wrong. But yeah, so we as Xbox fans are the ones that are footing the bill for what Microsoft does, right? So Xbox isn't going anywhere because we're the ones that continue to, pay for Xbox Live. We're the only ones. So they need us to, right? And then when you see, like the streaming and stuff like this, all this stuff is getting a lot more play than what we get. Then you can sort of see sort of the difference about what's going on. And I think that that's fine. Microsoft has a clear idea. And listen, let me be completely clear. The industry is going towards, they want more streaming aspects. They want that, like we're going to see these companies do more streaming. You're not going to see Xbox, or you're not going to see PlayStation games on Nintendo or Xbox though. And you're not going to see Nintendo games on PlayStation or Xbox either. And you likely won't see Xbox games on PlayStation. I doubt that they allow that, but you're still starting to see some of this kind of stuff kind of pop up a little bit more, right? And what I do like about what Sony's doing, and I've kind of mentioned this in the past, is the fact that Sony, even though they're, obviously they're going to have their single player bangers. They differ from Xbox. I don't feel like their back end for PlayStation Network is nearly as good as Xbox Live. But you do see them sort of working on that in the background, right? And they're going to do streaming, and they're probably going to do, PlayStation Now on mobile phones and just like Microsoft. And the difference is they're not going to like shove it down our throat as, hey, people, this is how you're going to do it and why you're going to do it, and it's going to be great. You know what I mean? Like they seem to really grasp the idea that there's hundreds of millions of traditional gamers out there who spend a lot more money than a casual will, and they try to really be attractive to that type of gamer, and I can really appreciate that as a fan, right? So I have to say that I can appreciate that from Sony's part. On Microsoft's side, they do some of the most questionable things I've ever seen in my life. Again, that Inside Xbox didn't even need to happen. It's like State of Decay 2 DLC. Okay. Halo to the Master Chief Collection on PC. Like, that's a thing. Like, is that what E3 is going to be like? Like, they're going to talk about xCloud and stuff going to PC more? Like, if that's what it's going to be, then I don't know. Like, should we even bother watching? Are they going to throw us? I know we're going to get some console news, but with the fact that everything's going to be on everything anyway, does it really matter? Like, cool, I'm going to have the most powerful console, but everything's going to be 4K, mostly 60. I mean, you're probably going to see some 30. So is it really something that's, I mean, these things are going to be competing. They're going to be competitive with each other, Xbox and PlayStation 5. I think what it all comes down to is the games, right? Like, we got Google in the mix now too, right? Like, what are they going to do? They got Jade Raymond leading up their gaming division now. Like, to me, if Microsoft don't watch out, man, Google will sweep in and beat them, right? Like the the Xbox is quickly becoming like the beta box, you know. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. And I know, like, people will go, oh, well, fanboys will say Xbox is irrelevant. Well, go look at the comments, right? Go look at the comments in Master Chief Collection coming to PC. Okay. And there's a lot of them. Sure, there's some that could be fanboys, but some are like, well, I can finally get rid of that dust box. I was only keeping it to play Halo anyway. And some people were only keeping it to play Halo or Gear, and, the people that have been bashing Xbox nonstop for years, now all of a sudden, hey, they love it. And did you guys also find it funny? Because maybe you're Xbox fan that's pissed off like me, right? Did you find it funny how everybody's like, welcome home, Halo. You're on PC again. Welcome home. Like, really? Or Halo's back. Wow, Halo's back, guys. Did you know in the chat here, Halo is back? Did you know that Halo is back? Guys, in the chat, did you know that Halo is back? Did you know that? Did you know that Halo had went away? Did you guys hear that? Halo went away and now it's back. Amazing, right? Amazing. It's back. It's back, guys. That's like Sony coming out and putting God of War on PC and people going, God of War's back. Guys, God of War is back. It's back. Well, God of War never left. Halo never left. It never left. Yeah, Halo and Halo 2 were on PC, but they started, they didn't come out day and date with the console. They were out later, right? So, again, people are going to be able to pay less money for the Master Chief Collection, get a fixed product at launch, by the way, be able to play it online, probably cross-play, and beat us console scrubs with the mouse and keyboard. And us guys are the ones stuck paying the $60 a year for live still. So yeah, I mean, they really love us, right? So much so they don't even mention the word Xbox in terms of console hardly. You know what I mean? It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, exactly. TLR9. It's like they're gonna get all of our stuff, play crossplay with people on console, and beat us mercilessly, right? And and we're supposed to be okay, happy about it. Worry word. I hear you, dude. But the problem is, and listen, I'm with you. I'm buying a PS5. There's no doubt about it. I'm getting a PS5 as well. The problem is, like I said, one thing I like about Sony is their games, and they don't shove a bunch of agendas down your throat. Microsoft is, yeah, we got some games for you, but we didn't like this particular aspect about the gaming industry, so we're going to change it. And if you don't like what we did, then you're a this, or you're a that, or you're against this, or you're against moving this forward, or you're against moving that forward. And maybe you guys can read between the lines, man. I'm not trying to be controversial, but for me personally, I think that some things are better left alone, and some things are better just like left how they are. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean? So No, man, I could never be a gaming PC person, you know. Just I could never do that ever. Hey, hit the like button if you guys are just watching me. I do appreciate it. Um, dude, if I wanted to use a mouse and keyboard virtual Shelton, I would use a mouse and I would play on PC already, right? Like that's the thing. I don't want to use a mouse and keyboard. I don't want to play against other people using a mouse and keyboard. I want to play against people playing on Xbox, playing against me, right? That's how I want to play. And that's how a lot of people want to play. You know, you want it as a consistent as a matchup as you can get. At least I do, right? Microsoft tried crossplay with Gears of War with the best Gears players they could find versus average Gears of War players on PC, and the average PC players slaughtered the good console players. Matching up mouse and keyboard against a controller is not a good look. So, hey, Rock Dog, man, if you don't appreciate it, I'm sure that there are other YouTubers out there, bro, that will blow smoke up your ass. I'm not one of them, you know? There's frauds all around. You know, these guys that play on PC and claim to be Xbox dudes, there's plenty of them. Go to their channels, man. They'll blow smoke up your ass and talk to you about options and how it's great. And then they'll hop back on their PC and play some PC games, right? That ain't me. I'm an Xbox dude. I play Xbox. I play consoles only. I don't touch PC except for to talk to you guys. Basically, that's it. I've been console gaming since 1986. That's my thing. So for me personally, hey, if I speak for you, cool. If not, then that's cool too. I'll still probably do some videos that you guys like. Then just go check out those videos. But you can't expect me and everybody just to be constantly happy about everything they're doing. I like some of what Microsoft is doing. I'm excited about the future and the power of the Xbox for sure, and some of what the studios are going to be working on. Absolutely, you know, I'm going to see Fable come back. I'm interested to see what Halo Infinite can do with sort of this spiritual reboot. I think it's going to be incredible to see. But I also think that, you know, obviously sometimes Microsoft has to pay attention to what the hardcore fan wants a little bit more too, right? Like, why are they just, it seems like they're just paying attention to a certain type of gamer, and like a lot of the, a lot of the people, dude, Mike, you act like I don't play PlayStation, bro. I play PlayStation. I do. Hey, Ian, that's sexist, my friend. Don't get into that. You can't be an Xbox gamer and be sexist, man. Come on. What did you learn yesterday on Inside Xbox, dude? You can't do that, man. You gotta, you gotta keep it legit, man. You gotta keep it even keel, man. Ain't none of that stuff around here, bro. We all just gamers here. We're all just friendly kumbaya gamers. You know what I mean? Halo might be game as a service. Yep, probably. You know, I would assume petty gamer. I try to cover news, man. I'm excited about the PS5 too. I'm excited about the next Xbox. But have to be honest, man. Some of the stuff that you hear, like the initiative, them being a small studio, I totally mistook that, man. I thought they were going to do a quadruple A, and now they're kind of doing this smaller type game. I'm not exactly sure I'm too thrilled with that, man. I thought they were going to be delivering us like this big experience, and now it doesn't look that way. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Some of these other studios, when are we going to see games from them? 2022, 2023? I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Am I happy about Gears of War? Hell yeah, man. That game looks amazing. Again, though, there's been some narrative changes with that, and we don't know the full reasoning behind that, right? Is that just Microsoft's directives now? Like, everything has to be a certain way. And maybe some of you guys know what I'm talking about or hinting about, but at the end of the day, it's one of those, it's an interesting thing. So yeah, hey, hit that like button. I know there's going to be a lot of people that consider this to be an Xbox hate video or whatever, but it's really not, man. It's just me kind of expressing my opinion. Let's see. Well, exactly, Sean, man. I'm not knocking anybody. If you liked it, like, I don't understand as an Xbox guy, right? I'm not talking about as somebody that switches. I don't play PC at all. So for me personally, they talk less and less about Xbox. You guys have to have noticed that, right? Like the actual Xbox console, they talk less and less. And look at their announcements that they make and that Phil tweets out. It's all stuff about streaming with xCloud or PC related stuff, right? When was the last and look at the last exclusives that were announced. They're all PC exclusives, right? Minecraft Dungeons. You know, you talk about what the hell is that other game that Gears Tactics. And even if these games come to Xbox, we get some scraps and they're probably forced to use like mouse and keyboard, right? Whereas Halo, you better believe, is going to get mouse and keyboard and controller support and whatever other damn can support, they can put it on PC. That's what I'm talking about, right? So for me personally, I think that's kind of messed up. It looks to more and more like Microsoft realistically. They're not going to phase out Xbox, right? I don't want anybody to think that. They're 100% not phasing out Xbox. I'm not stupid enough to think that. Why? Because it's pretty obvious that they want that, $2 billion a year or $3 billion a year, whatever it is. Last time they actually reported on it, it was actually it was something like $2.8 billion yearly off of just the paid Xbox Live services. That's not counting like if you buy stuff off the stores, you know what I mean? Like, and things like that. I'm sure it's way higher than that. And that accounts for a lot of what they're doing. And I think that's cool, right? I think that that's perfectly acceptable, perfectly fine. These companies make money. They are business after all. I just wish that they would pay a little bit more attention to who brought them to the dance, or who they brought to the dance, right? Like, remember when you used to be able to pick your zone or whatever? Was it on Xbox? What was it, Xbox or Xbox 360? Underground or this or that. Now that stuff, they would never do that now because it's not politically correct, right? So yeah, like to me, they've totally kind of went back on that whole hardcore. They had the hardcore gamer. Look, when the original Xbox came out, you know why I liked it? Obviously, Xbox Live was a game changer for me, and the fact that they weren't allowing people on dial-up to play, that was huge because I was playing NFL 2K games and video games online already since the Dreamcast, and I hated dial-up, right? When you played on PS2, you had to play with people sometimes that were on dial-up, and it was bad. When the Xbox came out, they had servers, they had, no dial-up. It was all people. You had to have broadband. It was a real game changer for me. And now it's like they went from sort of being this hardcore gamers thing. Like, look at the original hardcore gamers. They didn't sell a lot of original Xboxes, but they were damn sure hardcore, right? Like Halo, Dead or Alive. They had some of the Sega games like Panzer Dragoon. They had some really hardcore games out there. And they had that hardcore gamer. The Xbox 360 came out. Again, people saw Gears of War, Halo 3. These are hardcore games, man. People love that. And I think that now it's like, look at the games we're getting. Hopefully, Ninja Theory will produce something good. I think they will. I think we're going to get some really, really good games. But I also think that, some of the games that we're getting are maybe a little bit, watered down a bit, in my opinion. You know what I mean? If you guys know what I'm saying. So I think they're very careful with what they put out. And I hope that they decide to do something hardcore. Like, I hope that that's not a preview of E3, right? Like, and even if you love the show, well, I don't know anybody. Did anybody here that's watching me right now love the show? Like, think it was just perfect and amazing? Like, I'm very curious about that. Did anybody here love that show? That's what I'd be curious about. Did anybody here actually love the show? Because I'm not really sure, if that's something that would actually happen. So, if you liked it, fair enough. Did you love it though? Like, that's what I would question. Let's see here. Hated, yes, exactly. Spider-Man, Alex, yep. Yeah, I like the shorter length of the show. It was all crap and I fell asleep. Okay. Yep, Halo Master Chief yep, I get you, man. Reach, but Snakes, did you also like the fact that we've got to pay for that again, right? I saw that Raven signed Earl Thomas, and they also signed Mark Ingram, running back. So, I was hoping they would have got Le'Veon Bell, but what are you going to do? Right player, right price. I guess that's the way it's going to be. Sports, yes. Red Dead 2 on PC. Hey, man, it probably will go to PC eventually, bro. What's up, Jago? What's up, everybody? Please hit the like button, share it out. Hey, man, look, if you're a PC player, more power to you, man. That's fine. My question is this: why is Xbox so hated? Because let's be real. If you wanted to play Halo, you could have bought an Xbox for an Apple Core and some pocket lint. Those Xboxes are cheap. They're super cheap. But people hate Xbox so damn much that they would rather not play any of the games at all or wait 20 years to play them. Right? That's ridiculous to me. Like, when has there ever been a console or whatever that's been hated that much? It's absolutely good. Oh, there is some good news, PZ. You can stream PC games to your Xbox now through some app or whatever. Like, cool. You know? Um uh hold on. Andrew Keith. You're not talking to me, you're talking to somebody else. Well, yeah, look, here's the thing. Go look at the comment section at any of these places that are running this article or running these things, right? Oh, yes, now I can finally dump my Xbox. One less thing to worry about, you know? Like, people for some reason just don't like Xbox, and I don't get it, man. I like, Xbox is fun, or at least it was, man. Like, I just want them to stick to the gaming aspect, get back to gaming, get back to talking about video games, get back to making great games. And I think that I don't think they'll ever do that just because of the culture that we live in. But man, as an Xbox fan, I feel like yesterday's show was a bit of a slap in the face, because how could you watch that and not feel like they're totally pandering to a certain type of person? And not only are they just pandering, but they're doing it poorly and they're shoving it down your throat. It's like they're not giving you an option as a gamer. It's like, here's their games, pick what you want. It's like, okay, well, if you want to play Xbox, you also, you can't have balls, and that to me was a little bit something that I wasn't very excited to see. Xbox 360 realistically much better in terms of what they offered. Like, they didn't care, man. They did not care. They went all out, dude. Look at the games that they had, man. It's like Fable. They had the Fable games on there. They had the Gears games on there. They didn't hold back on this one, man. They censored the Gears games. Did you know they've censored Gears games, man? Absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. We were getting so many amazing games back then, and now it's like, I think we're going to get some good stuff, man. I think E3 is going to bring some games. I just don't want it to be like what we had at Inside Xbox, where it's like xCloud, PC, xCloud, right? Like, it's okay to say Xbox, Phil and company. There's nothing wrong with Xbox. Nobody's going to bash on you because you bring up the Xbox, right? The Xbox fans, there might not be 100 million of us like there are PS4, but there's still probably 35, 40 million of us out there, and we're a pretty large group, and would appreciate some love shown our way, right? Like, at least I would hope so, man. I know I can't be the only one to kind of think that way. Just in my opinion. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm off base. Maybe those other fake people out there telling you how great this stuff is, and then they hop on their PCs. Maybe they're the right ones and I'm the wrong one, right? Anything can happen. True. Anything can happen. Hey, I don't think there's anything wrong with PC. I think it's fine, but I find it funny that, Phil and company is just like, like, here's the thing. I think Phil's a decent guy, but he comes across as very fake sometimes. And the good reason, a good thing that what I'm talking about is this, right? He tweets out, yeah, we put the Master Chief Collection on Steam because we don't want any barriers, play where you want. But then you look at it and it's like, Halo Infinite's not going to be on Steam. So you're only putting some old ass games on Steam. You're not going to put Halo Infinite on Steam day and date. Why? Because you want people to use your crappy Windows store, right? So why is that okay? Okay, why is he gonna make up things like, hey, we want there to be no barriers, but there's clearly barriers. They're not going to put their stuff on Google's platform either because they're in competition with Google. They're not going to put their stuff on Amazon. Crap. Do you think that Domino's gig with Master Chief was dumb? Dude, DJ, when I tweeted this out, I was like, hey, I'm looking for Inside Xbox, but all I can see is this PC related show, right? That was like the first thing that I tweeted out. Then it was like there's these people and they're eating a bunch of junk food and pizza. Like, okay, now it's turned into a Domino's commercial. Great. Oh, okay. And now there's this lady on there talking about PlayStation. And okay, talking about PlayStation. Great. Like, this is what this is what this is Xbox now, folks. I don't get it. Maybe I'm wrong. I agree. Spider Silva Spencer likes PC more than Xbox. I mean, I think that's probably accurate. I have a feeling a girl will be introduced. Hey, TLR9. Here's the thing, and I'm calling it now. Mrs. Chief or Madam Chief, right? If you go back and look at that Halo Infinite trailer that we saw from last E3, look how skinny Master Chief's leg is, right? So unless Master Chief has lost a lot of weight, it's safe to assume that possibly Master Chief could be female, or at the very least, right? They're going to give you an option, and people will just go, options are great, to be Mrs. Chief or whatever it is, Madam Chief, because they are doing more RPG elements. I can almost guarantee you that they are going to give you the option to play as a female Master Chief in Halo Infinite. You could just tell. You could just tell. So, yeah, I'm telling you, do not discount what I'm saying. People are gonna be like, man, crap's crazy, man. He's on a bender or something. Except for crap don't drink. Well, very rarely. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting, huh? I'm very interested to see how that all plays out. See, here's the thing about options, right? Like I brought this up and people get pissed off. Like I just had an argument with somebody on Twitter. Okay. So by the way, hit the like button. And we've got almost 400 watching. I would appreciate it if you guys hit the like button. Get me over 100 likes. I realize that some people aren't happy with what I'm saying. Right. And that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But you can't say that at least I wasn't real with my opinion. Okay. You can think I'm the biggest jerk in the world. You can hate my opinion, but you at least know that I'm not being fake about it, right? This is seriously just how I feel. And I feel like a lot of times if you feel differently than how I feel, like if you're not anything but super happy, shiny people about everything Xbox does on social media, then you are kind of an outcast and people think you're just a Debbie Downer or whatever, right? And they mock you and they make fun of you. And to me, I think that's BS. Like there's not really a wrong answer in my opinion. Does Xbox games on everything devalue the Xbox console itself? Probably. Does it do it that much? Probably not. But, so there's not really a wrong answer. This really just comes down to opinions. You know what I mean? And to me, I feel like Microsoft has this weird idea about this 2 billion gamer number, right? And that sounds lovely, but it's like you're looking at grass on the other side and maybe you can't see the whole picture, right? And you're not realizing that you have these loyal people that have been supporting you through everything, right? Let's be honest. This generation has been incredibly tough for Xbox fans, right? We started off good, but we were getting bashed right away from the media. Then the games stopped coming. We stopped getting games, folks, and we still stuck with Xbox, right? They gave us and the reason why they were forced to give us the Xbox One X was because they needed to give us some reason. And so they sort of given us this Xbox One X that plays everything better. And that's a really good reason. But you also need some exclusive content, right? You need something that you can't get anywhere else, or at least not on any other console. And they have these grand ideas of everything. You know what I mean? Wait, there's a rumor that Sony's buying Take-Two. Who's giving that rumor? Because that'd be crazy. Holy crap. Wow, that'd be interesting. So what's the deal with that? Take-Two and Sony. What's up, good Sully in the chat? Well, yeah, here's the thing, Xbox Best Box. I get that you're a troll or whatever, and that's funny, man. Just keep it non-personal, and we'll get along fine. We can sit there and agree or disagree. So that rumor is legit, huh? Wow, if Sony were to buy Take-Two, wow. Hold on, let me think about what the ramifications are for that. Well, would Sony, do you guys, because Z Huge or whatever, like I'm blocked by him or whatever because I had a Scorpio in my name. So let me ask you guys this. if they buy Take-Two, do they make the games exclusive to PlayStation at that point? Because I would, you know, yeah, I know that Z Huge is wrong a lot, but he is salty. What's up? But here's the thing: Z Huge is also he does know some stuff. Like he's in the industry for numbers or something like that. So he's more accurate on numbers and stuff like that than he is on some of these other things. But I'm curious if anybody's saying, um, are they saying that Sony will keep that the Take-Two stuff exclusive because Take-Two is Rockstar, like, so they could potentially have future Grand Theft Autos or future Red Dead games exclusive to PlayStation platforms, as well as um, the 2K basketball series as well. So yeah, Sony would lock those down. That would be the end of almost everything Xbox, right? Huh. That's interesting. Holy crap. I'm gonna have to write this one down so me and the guys and gals can talk about it on Xbox Nation tonight, because that is very, very interesting. Because you know why that's interesting? Because I believe you're right, TLR9. Sony would lock down those exclusives. You would need to buy a PlayStation to play those games, the Red Deads, the Grand Theft Autos. You would have to do that, and Xbox would be done. You wouldn't be able to play 2K, basketball, Borderlands, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, all that stuff exclusive to Sony. I hate to say it, man, all over. That it'd be all over for Xbox, man. They couldn't come out with something because Microsoft wouldn't make sports games, right? There's already no Sony already has the the monopoly on baseball games. They're the only game in town. If they also had it on basketball, I know that there's NBA Live, but that game sucks. So, man, that'd be crazy. Here's the thing, DJ Singh. The more I think about it, like, why wouldn't Sony do something like that to position themselves better for the future, right? If you're trying to position yourself for the future and the future's content, right? Even if you're doing streaming, let's look 25 years in the future and we're all just streaming games. They're still going to need exclusive content to make you buy into their streaming service. So that would be huge. Wow. Interesting, man. Well, we do Xbox Nation at 8 p.m. Eastern, which I believe is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. I think it's like 1 a.m. UK time. So, yeah, like Salty, it's going to be interesting to kind of talk about because we know if Microsoft were to do something like that, everything would just stay multiplat because Microsoft doesn't even care. Like they're just, hey, we'll buy it and then we'll put it on everything anyway. So, hey, 5150 Turk, you're not wrong. I had a joke earlier. Me and Mooch were joking around. I said Microsoft, Xbox is that guy that catches his wife with somebody else, with some other guy, and then he offers the guy a drink. That's Microsoft. They're like, hey, you look tired there, guy. Yeah, my wife wearing you out. Here's some Gatorade, pal. You know what I mean? That's Microsoft for you, dude. That's how I look at them in the console space now, right? They you need a carry-on bag for your balls with them, man. Like, stuff's not included. But yeah, that's an incredible ass. That's an incredible ass rumor to be having today. Like, that's incredible. Wow, man. I'm writing that down now. Is there any kind of I might have to look into this a little bit more and see what's going on there because wow, that's some really impressive stuff. Like Sony sort of going all out then trying to sort of upstage what Microsoft is doing. Then you got Google who have Jade Raymond. I don't worry about Google as much because there's only one company that's more politically correct than Microsoft nowadays, and that's Google. So, I think it'd be a fight to see who could get, like, maybe they'll argue over Recore rights one day. Like, no, Google wants Recore. No, Microsoft wants Recore. No, Google wants Recore. No, Microsoft wants Recore. I just see that kind of happening. Who can empower Recore more, let's yeah, I agree, TLR9. If that is true, then that's Microsoft. Xbox is pretty much done. You can't not have those type of bangers on your console, right? Like you just can't do it. No, well, don't say that, Xbox Best Box. That's a strong, independent woman in that game. She's a strong, independent woman. Don't no man tell her what to do in that game. She is her own woman, and that's the type of games that Microsoft and Google want. You know, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that kind of works out. You know, just Uh, wow, like sorry, I'm kind of scrambling. I'm looking at this stuff right now. So yeah, very cool stuff. So also interesting to see. Like I'm looking at the Halo Master Chief Collection stuff, and they're like, Halo Reach is coming to PC with the Master Chief Collection, and it's also going to be going to Xbox One. Right. So I find that funny too, the way that they kind of announce that, and the way that they sort of say, hey, it's PC first or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that to me, a little bit bummed out about that, but still, I feel like Microsoft could redeem themselves if they have a really good E3 and really just kind of focus on the Xbox console gamer a little bit more, right? Like more than none, because lately I feel like I said, and it can't just be me. Like I've seen it everywhere. A lot of people are very much sort of feeling the same way, that Microsoft has kind of left you out of the loop a little bit. So yeah, very interesting to see that sort of come about. And let me see. Inside PC culture. Hey, you're not right. Crap, do you think if they have Peter Moore back on Xbox, I would rather have Peter Moore. Well, I would rather have whoever would take the idea that you need to keep some exclusive content on your platform, right? I feel like they needed something. C-Script says, I always thought it was weird you can't play Halo on PC. What is up with the invisible wall? It is the same company. Well, you can play it on PC now. Like they're bringing it all. Every Halo game will be on PC. And there's crossplay, but they weren't very clear on if you can turn off the crossplay. Mayhem Gaming, next gen Xbox will simply be the couch PC option unless its own identity. So, well, here's the thing. I don't think that you mean like a Steam box, and I tend to agree, right? Even though Steam boxes were failures, I do feel like what we're going to be seeing is something along those lines. There was nothing wrong with Inside Xbox. Wasn't that good, but it was literal 85% Xbox. Straight Duval. I'm not sure I follow, because most of the stuff that I saw was xCloud related or PC related. Like their first announcement was PC related. And then they get into the xCloud stuff, and then they were talking about with developers who were talking about PlayStation and other stuff. So, okay, so crossplay is with Steam and Windows 10, not Xbox, is what you're saying, Havender? Yeah, PC, personal computer, and political correctness. C-Script, you said, I liked the show. It was fun and cringy, but I like that. Okay, so C-Script, you don't feel that maybe they're pandering a little bit to a certain type of politically correct crowd? Do you not feel that Microsoft kind of pushes certain thoughts and culture on Xbox gamers when they should maybe just focus more on just the games and things like that? Like, I'm just curious. Maybe I'm wrong here. Like, maybe not. I don't expect everybody to feel my way about it, you know? But for me personally, it's like, here's your Xbox with a side of PC, you know? I don't know. And I don't mean personal computer. Yeah, well, that's the rumor. Sony buying Take-Two. That's gonna be interesting. I mean, I couldn't imagine. Well, let's see. Domino's Pizza. Yeah, like that was funny. Avoid the Noid. Yeah, it was kind of bad. Yeah, I saw that they stopped crossplay with Fortnite on the Switch, Xbox, and PS4 due to the fact that I guess the frames per second thing, like 30 frames per second versus 60 frames per second, wasn't working out too well or something like that, right? So yeah, I get that, and I think that that's a little bit unfortunate. Is that like, if that's such an issue, then that could explain why we've seen stuff like PUBG and some of these other games like Destiny 2 not get a 60 option on the Xbox One X. Because if you think about it, a lot of developers don't want their games to sort of suffer that way, where you have such a large advantage or disadvantage for one over the other. So I do think that's a little bit unfortunate. You know, um, yeah. So very interested to see how that all kind of works out. Hey, I appreciate everybody coming out and watching. Please hit the like button, share it out. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Crap, I've noticed that Naughty Dog and Nintendo Treehouse employees are also pushing political correctness. Here's the thing, right? You can not be PC and still not be a jerk, right? Like, I feel like people act like if you don't treat everybody with kid gloves that you have to be a complete moron or a complete jerk or whatever. And I feel completely different than that. I feel like people can still be nice and in general without being overbearing, without having to, give everybody a participation trophy or, lawyer up in your head before you say anything. I think, look, I notice this too. My content, hold on. DJ Singh says, crap. An argument with Zalker, your one quote got me bad, bro, where you said PlayStation and Nintendo respect their fans over Xbox. Yeah, well, here's the thing, right? Both Nintendo and Sony, they respect their fans, and that's why they stay a little bit more traditional. They also, the fans' belief in those companies pays off for them because they always get great content, and especially this generation, and all the way up until last generation, up until 2010, that was the last time we got a new IP from Microsoft up until the Xbox One launched. But so you could say for like basically the last 9 years, Microsoft hasn't really delivered amazing games, right? Even their big three have been, not as good as the previous iterations. Like Gears 4, great, not as good as Gears 3, in my opinion. Halo 5 is an interesting situation because Halo 5 had better multiplayer, but Halo 4 had better single player. So, kind of a toss up there. Forza Horizon, it's hard to argue with the quality there. Those just really are just great games. But, here's the thing. And C-Script, I appreciate that, right? He says, I love the way you give your opinion straight up and don't care what anyone else says. I love your content. I appreciate that. But look, if you go back and watch what I was doing and saying years ago, I was probably a lot more in your face with my opinion, a lot more opinionated. What happens is people that don't agree with you will take anything that you say and use it out of context and twist it to an agenda. And so you have to watch what you say nowadays, right? If you don't, you'll flame out fast, right? So I could sit there and tell everybody exactly what I feel about every individual YouTuber. I could tell everybody what I feel about every individual Xbox employee, but at the end of the day, I would fizzle out super fast because everybody would find a reason to get offended over what I'm saying. And that's really kind of a shame because I feel like, and I'm not even talking about anything super bad, just an opinion on something, right? It's like you can't even have a separate opinion about something these days without people just kind of flipping out. And for me personally, I don't like that. I don't care. Like people can have insane opinions on me. I'm sure that nobody on YouTube outside of Mooch really likes me, right? And I'm fine with that, and I'm sure there are some that like me. I'm just being kind of facetious here, but I'm fine with that, man. That's just how it is, man. I've kind of had this personality where I shoot from the hip and I just kind of do my own thing. And, some people don't like that. I'm kind of negative a little bit when it comes to Xbox right now. Some people don't like that. Although, where were these people for years when I was one of only 3-4 YouTubers out there banging that Xbox drum saying, hey, DX12, or we don't even, like the whole resolution thing didn't even matter because it was games. And now, of course, Microsoft doesn't really have the game. So what can I do? Can I lie and say I never said it was about games? Obviously, it was about games. I bought an Xbox One because of games, Tell Phil Spencer you're taking over from. Well, to be honest with you, man, I have some interaction with Phil, but I haven't really talked to him since before last E3. There's nothing I could say to the guy that's going to make him change his mind. He's very much set in this whole idea. And part of the reason is, right? So how I was saying earlier, if you're just joining me, I was saying earlier, there's plenty of YouTubers in the world out there that'll tell you this is great, that this is amazing. It's options, right? Options. That's what you're going to hear a lot of, right? And those are the same ones. Like ask yourself this next time you're watching them. Next time you're watching a YouTuber that are talking about how great all these Microsoft moves are, ask yourself how many of these people that are talking play on PC as well, right? Or play on other platforms, and so they're a little bit more. Then ask yourself, are you just more of a console person like crap, or are you more of a PC? I totally get if you're both, and you're both. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, for me personally, if I were to get my news from somebody on YouTube that was Xbox related, and I was just only an Xbox gamer or only a console gamer, I wouldn't go to somebody who plays on PC, right? Like, I wouldn't do that. That to me doesn't make sense. Now, for me personally, this is just how I feel about it. Other people might be fraudulent about their feelings, and I can't see how anybody could damage control that inside Xbox, right? It's not crap gamers turning it into this person or that person. The fact of the matter is, that was a bad show. That was a really bad show. That was just a show that I cannot believe happened, right? So we do get a new Phantom White Special Edition controller, guys. So that is good news, right? We still don't have any games announced or anything like that, but I'm sure those will come anytime now. And so yeah, there's all kinds of interesting stuff that happen in this kind of stuff. And again, I feel like Microsoft can do a better job for the hardcore Xbox fans. That's all I want. So if you guys are out here thinking crap's a pony or crap's this or crap's that, what crap's agenda is this, and I'll lay it on the line for you. If Microsoft believes that streaming is the way to go and they want to do that too, I'm perfectly fine with that. If they want to put all their games on PC, I'm perfectly fine with that. It does devalue their console. I think that's been proven. 52,000 consoles sold in the US in February. That's like the lowest number of consoles ever for an Xbox One, I believe, this generation for a month. In the MPD, that's just insanely. That's like Wii U low, but still, they don't care. I said that multiple times. Microsoft does not care if you buy an Xbox One. They don't, because they are making money off of their other services and things like that. Xbox Live obviously makes them a ton of money. Fortnite, thanks to Fortnite, Apex, all these kind of free-to-play games. So what I want from Microsoft is just acknowledgement of your hardcore Xbox fans, man. Like, give us a little wink. Like, hey, there's those guys that stuck by us when we were selling them a $500 console, forced connect on them, and gave them a less powerful console than the competition. We promised DX12 and all this kind of stuff, but hey, thanks for sticking by us when we didn't give you any games. Any games. Oh, okay. So hold on. So the rumor is Sony in advanced board level discussions to acquire Take-Two Interactive. Wow. Very interesting. So there's actually an article in here. So this is very, very interesting, because now that you're talking about analysts and stuff like Take-Two Interactive. Okay, so here's the official scoop. Take-Two Interactive Software stock climbed 4.7% on rumors that Sony is in advanced board-level discussions to acquire Take-Two Interactive in a mostly cash deal that would value the company at $130 a share, according to Joel Kulina, head of technology and media trending at Wedbush Securities. Holy crap. Sony basically mortgaging the future to lock down. Wow. Holy cow. That's a megaton, folks. That is huge. If that happens, man, that's absolutely insane. I cannot believe that, man. Petty Gamer says, I think most Xbox gamers are flip-flopping on what is hottest. If Microsoft gets new IPs, everyone will jump back ship on Xbox. Dude, maybe you're right. But you don't even have to. That's what Microsoft, they don't even want you to buy. You don't even have to buy an Xbox to play their games, and they're perfectly fine with that. Hey, please hit that like button. I would really appreciate that. Wow, man, this Sony stuff is insane. I can't wait to talk about this with the guys. I doubt the games will become. Why would you, Steve Ballmer's bald spot? Why would you spend that money to buy those games and not make them exclusive to your console? You know, look, GTA Online, they make money. That's like Minecraft, right? So, well, here's the thing, Humble Warrior, who says people are hypocrites, plain and simple. People are just people, right? People are people. So what I mean by that is we're all humans here. Well, I would think so. Meaning you can change your opinion on something at any point in time. That doesn't really necessarily mean that you that you're a hypocrite, okay? I'll give you a good example of this. I was down on VR, right? But then I actually got to try it. And it was great. And everybody knows that I love VR. So does that make me a hypocrite? No, it makes me human. I was a little bit too quick to speak on it before I actually got to try it. After I did try it, I loved it, and then we went on from there, right? So yeah, but here's the thing, Steve Ballmer's bald spot. Sony makes their money off of these consoles, right? Off of consoles. They're securing their future. If you own Grand Theft Auto and that whole stable of games, the NBA 2K games, Borderlands, if you own all that stuff, you're set in the future, my friend. If you're like, even I'm talking when we're streaming only down the road or whatever, you are set in the future. Holy cow. But that is really, really interesting to see. So that Sony's actually interested in doing that. Wow. That's whoo. Wow, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Wow. Wow. Interesting. Gonna stir the pot a little bit on Twitter. Excuse me, fellas. Wow. Interesting. Advanced boardroom talks. That's absolutely incredible. So yeah, anyway, guys, hit that like button, all that kind of good stuff. I would really appreciate that. Share it out. What do you guys think about this Google stuff? Do you think Google is a serious threat to anybody in the gaming industry? Right? Like, do you think they're a serious threat to anybody in the gaming industry? Yes or no? I think it would be I think it's going to be interesting if they're only streaming. If they're only streaming, then I think that okay, so then I think that it's not going to be a big deal. But they need games. They need some kind of exclusive content. They need something more than just okay, you can stream your games here. So yeah. I also want to point out something really hypocritical about this whole. And again, this is hypocritical as opposed to human nature. When Microsoft was rumored to buy EA some years ago, people flipped out, right? They're like, oh my God, you can't buy EA. That would screw over the fans. You can't have that. You can't have those games exclusives. But now I'm looking at some of the comments regarding this this potential buyout of Take-Two, and everybody's like, wow, huge news for Sony. All those games are exclusive. That'd be crazy. So here's a little bit more information about it. Take-Two's market cap is around $10 billion. Sony's market cap is $60 billion. The offer would be around $14 billion, according to the money and the shares and things like that. So, yeah, that's absolutely crazy number right there, when you think about it. But again, insane. Just what a day, right? Like, holy crap! I come home, lunch, boom. We've got this leak and these rumors, and man, I can't actually wait to talk about this and get some more information about it from like Mooch and the gang tonight, because it's going to be so interesting to see how this kind of works out. I just really want to see what Microsoft can do about this, because Microsoft honestly just incredibly playing catch up all the time, and now they'd have to be playing catch up even more. So I would find that to be very interesting. But at the same time, man, what do you do to that, right? I did throw up on the game. I tried it at the store. Once I got it and played it at home, that almost happened again with rigs. So yeah, the whole VR stuff was 100% I kind of bashed it leading up to it. I tried it and I didn't like it at first because of the game that they had. And then when I got home now, I still can't really play that often. I can't really do racing as much or rigs because they move so fast and it kind of gets motion sickness. But the other games, absolutely amazing stuff. Um, let's see. The company becomes a lot less valuable if they limit themselves. Well, here's the thing. If you're Sony, right? Sony makes hardware and you need software to do it. Like, to me, I understand the rationalization that a lot of people are making right now, right? And the reason why people are rationalizing it is because you don't want to lose those games as exclusive. But at the same time, this is Sony we're talking about here, right? This is Sony. So imagine this as Sony. What sells a PS5 better than GTA 6, PS5 exclusive, right? Now, I don't know of the breakdown of how many people bought Red Dead 2 on PlayStation versus Xbox or GTA on PlayStation versus Xbox, but I believe it's tremendously in favor of Sony. And Sony could even, if they wanted to, keep their game on PC and PlayStation, right? And you know what that would do? That would still make them a huge amount of money. And it wouldn't lose them that very much because if you wanted to buy a console, you're going to buy a PS5 to play, right? Because I've said this all along. For the most part, you know, if you're a console gamer, you play on console. If you're PC, you play on PC. Sometimes people play on both. But for me personally, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I think it's going to be interesting. Microsoft's playing catch up. You got to try to find that secret sauce. I agree. Here's the thing, Steve Ballmer's bald spot. Microsoft would need to buy. That was a good point. He says they would need to buy Activision, EA, something like that. That doesn't do Microsoft any good if they're not willing to fight fire with fire, right? And since Microsoft wants everything on everything anyway, even if they owned Activision and EA, let's say they bought Activision and EA and owned all the properties there within, you know what? Then you're still looking at a situation where they're going to publish their games on PlayStation and other platforms still. Whereas Sony knows how to play hardball, and Sony's like, you want to play GTA 6 or Red Dead 3, you got to buy a PlayStation. You know, I think that's probably the biggest difference. You know what I mean? Eric Smith says Microsoft wants games everywhere. Those studios would want to optimize and design the games to go everywhere. They probably don't want to do that. Making games for one system is much easier. Okay. Wicked Siege says Google Stream is in a more advanced stage than xCloud, I think. Well, if you saw the xCloud trial yesterday, I would maybe tend to agree, man. That was horrible. Like, did you guys watch her play that? It was horrible. She was pushing over on the thing and nothing was coming out of it. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was the most laggiest thing I ever saw. So yeah, I don't know, but this is like, what a day, man. What a day. Would anybody be okay with Master Chief Collection coming to PlayStation? Oh, why not, man? Give people less of a reason to buy an Xbox. Hey, put it on Google Stream too while you're at it. Why not? You know, come on. Can we get it running on an Atari? Man, let's get that thing up on an Atari too. Why not, man? How about a smart fridge? Be interesting. Yeah. So very, very interesting stuff. You know. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. I'm reading this information right now because wow, this is everybody's flipping out on this. Everybody's like, wow, GTA 6 exclusive. That is pretty interesting. So hold on. Wow. Man, Sony playing hardball. So Sony was out there, Sean Layden out there talking about how everybody's just gamers and it's not a competition. And then Sony in the meantime is sitting there backdooring Take-Two, trying to get their games exclusive. So wow. Interesting. So the more interesting part is Microsoft has moves to match this, guys. You want to know what Microsoft just did to match this move? If indeed this turns out to be true, we're going to have a situation where Microsoft just added, get this, Minecraft to Game Pass next month, you guys. That's going to change everything right there. Absolutely change everything. right there. We got Minecraft coming to Game Pass. Whoa, man, megaton. And that's something that I don't throw around lightly. Right there, man. That's going to absolutely crush anything that Sony can do, man. Sony can make Red Dead 3 exclusive, make Bully 2 an exclusive. We don't want it as Xbox fans, right? Exclusives are bad. Exclusives are bad. That's what Microsoft wants you to believe. You can't play it on everything, whenever you want, wherever you want, however you want, on a stream, on a watch, on a phone, on your refrigerator. However you want to play, wherever you want to play. Wow, it's amazing. Handy dandy Xbox. Yeah, Sony, very smart, very calculated. I like this move. I would love to see this move. Wow. Actually, I hope this is true. I said it, right? It's bold. I hope this is true. I want it to be true because it realistically, because we all know that Sony is going to actually go out there and put Microsoft's balls to the walls, right? They're gonna have Microsoft by the balls. They're gonna say, guess what, Microsoft? We got these games exclusive to our platform, and Phil Spencer's gonna still go out there and go, Halo 8 coming to PlayStation, PC, Switch, Google Stream, Amazon Deck, whatever the hell they're going to be using, mobile phone, iOS, this, that, you know what I'm saying? And then Sony's going to be like, well, you guys talk about monthly active users. Well, GTA Online doesn't have the most monthly active users than anything. Holy crap. Here, everybody tells me this, right? When I flip out on Xbox, right? And this might not be true that they buy that, but let's just pretend it is for a minute. Everybody says I flip out on Xbox. Microsoft is playing chess while Sony's playing checkers. What if Sony's been playing chess and they're doing stuff back end like this, right? They're obviously going to have their own PlayStation Now service on mobile too, but they've got better games. Imagine you're going to be the only place you can play. You got to pay Sony to play GTA on those. You know what I'm saying? GTA 6 is going to be exclusive. You know, like they're the ones playing chess. They're the more recognizable brand. Like they beat Microsoft at every turn this generation, right? Microsoft versus Sony. Here we go, the big Duke-a-roo. Sony jumps out to this big insurmountable lead. Then guess what? Microsoft stops reporting console sales. Basically, Sony chased Microsoft out of the console race, right? So bad that they couldn't even announce how many consoles they sold anymore, right? And not only that, so Microsoft switches to monthly active users, and Sony still has more. Sony still has more monthly active users. How the hell do you do that? You put all your money, your chips into monthly active users, and you're still getting beat. Well, guess what? If Sony does indeed buy out Take-Two, they'll continue to have more monthly active users. Man, next gen, we'll look back next gen, and we'll look back on this gen, and we'll go, remember when it was 100 million consoles to 40 million? Man, those are the days, right? Because it's going to be way worse. It's going to be way worse. Because I tell you what, when Phil goes, consoles don't really make us money. He's right. Software does. But you know what? If you sold 100 million consoles, you'd be selling a hell of a lot of software too, right? So ipso facto, you got to look at how that kind of works out. Sony makes more money than both Nintendo and Microsoft with their PlayStation Online. And that's just insane. So they start locking down stuff like GTA exclusively. Boom. That would be incredible. Incredible. Yeah, Wicked Siege. I'm going to be talking about the initiative stuff tonight as well. Wow. You know why? Because I was super hyped about that whole about what they were going to be making, right? We had heard quadruple A game studio, right? Quadruple A. That's 4 A's, folks. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 freaking A's. And now they're like, we're a small studio doing small projects right now. And I'm sitting there looking like, what? Small studio doing small projects? What? Boo, 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 do, do, boo, do, 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 boo. I don't know, right? Like, to me, how are you going to have a studio talking about, quadruple A at one point in time, and then you have them go, no, we're just small. We're a small studio, just absolutely. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Pretty pumped about Master Chief Collection. I just built, hey man, congrats, man. You're going to be able to play some Master Chief Collection. If Sony buys out Take-Two, it's TKO for Microsoft and Xbox. There won't be any coming back for that from Microsoft. Oh yeah, man. No, man, we're not even talking about the Xbox stuff right now, man. We're talking about the rumor that Sony's buying Take-Two. Um, so next doc says if Sony somehow acquires Take-Two, that would effectively end my suffering under Phil's PG, PC, and personal computer focus. 300,000 gamer score down the drain. Hey, I feel you, man. I'm like 160,000 gamer score. Yeah, this would be huge. This right here would beat all of Microsoft's acquisitions. All of Microsoft's acquisition. This would absolutely beat every move that Microsoft made so far leading up to this year. This would beat every single one of them, like hands down. Like it's not even close. This is just absolutely an incredible number. Insane. So the main reason why I think it's insane is because, again, Sony gets it. Like, boom, you have some exclusive games, and they matter, and they make people buy your console. It's crazy, you know. So that, I think that's the crazy part for me, anyway. So, Sony and Take-Two have a good relationship. They do indeed. So yeah, you think they're gonna turn over 500 employees in less than a year? They have to scale up. They are small now. Doesn't mean they will be in 5 years. No, but here's the thing, Miggy. He says, you know, the problem is that they're a small studio built from the ground up, and we need exclusives, and we want content now, right? And it looks like it's going to be years and years before we actually be able to get something. And Sony's been very, very quiet. That's true. You should speak your mind about what's going on with the culture and don't hold back. It's well, here's the thing, Hidden Figure. The internet is like, it's a weird place, right? Um, so people should not dislike somebody based on their opinion of who somebody else voted for, or what somebody else likes. Like, I always feel like that's kind of dumb. I would never judge somebody based on who they voted for or what they're like. If you play PlayStation, that's fine. If you play Xbox, that's fine. You play Switch, PC, that's fine. I'm fine with all that stuff. The problem is nowadays it's like people try to shame you, or they try to, do this or that. Like, for me, like, I'm cool, just as long as you're not hurting anybody, I'm cool with it. So I it's a weird situation for me. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. I would love to be able to get out there and speak my mind 100% unfiltered, but I just don't really feel like that's something that I can do right now. It just seems like there's not really much that you can really do it. Oh, LG Nemesis plays on the Soulja Boy console. Hey, hit that like button, guys. I would really appreciate it. Idiotic Tirade says Bioshock, NBA, GTA, Red Dead, Bully is a nice haul. Sony has something up their sleeves, according to CS Deadman. I agree, man. It would be absolutely insane to see this happen. I don't think we'd ever seen anything like it, right? And we can sit there and go, hey, well, 10 or 14 billion is a lot of money. But when you think that Microsoft paid $3 billion for only Minecraft, and you look at the potential upsides for stuff like GTA and Red Dead, future Red Deads, and Bullies, and the NBA games, wow. I mean, that's insane. Insane. Sony know how to play the game. You got Sean Layton out here talking about, hey, we're all just gamers here. That's the future of gaming, blah, blah, blah. We're all friends. And then, right, in one hand, shaking your hand, and the other hand, he's signing on the dotted line, buying out Take-Two. That's absolutely crazy. And yeah, and worst of all, because I'm seeing people on my feed right now going, only way for Microsoft to fight back is to buy, a studio like CD Projekt Red or Ubisoft. Microsoft would not make any of those games exclusive. So it really doesn't matter. Honestly, that's my retort. If somebody's like, crap, how do you feel about that? I feel like 100%. If Sony buys them, they will make those games exclusive. Microsoft, if they were to buy another studio like that, they would not make those games exclusive. So yeah, that's really the interesting part, man. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays apart. And right now, you're probably going to have to be thinking that Phil and company is probably like scratching their heads, wondering what they can do. We could be really sort of at a situation where companies are trying to buy um, other companies like this because they're afraid of Google, because they're afraid of Amazon. So you have to do stuff like this, because what happens if Google or Amazon were to buy Take-Two, right? That's what you have to worry about. Crap, you have the same energy when Halo's released on PC when they were exclusive. BioShock 1. Halo, well, I don't remember that far back, to be honest with you. I wasn't really I wasn't on YouTube back then, you know what I mean? I don't know about what we all got to make our own decision on what to get next gen. Perhaps this Take-Two talk will force Microsoft hands at buying exclusive content. They won't. Microsoft wants everything on everything. Crap, the pride of ownership and bragging rights of owning an Xbox are quickly dying. Yeah, I mean, people would just say that's fanboy talk, but you're right. It's like in sports. I'm a Ravens fan, and I'm cussing out my team yesterday because our team is just getting torn apart by free agency. I'm like, get Bell, get Le'Veon Bell, get this person. We're losing all our players. Like, you want your team to do good. You want your box to do good. And, it's really unfortunate when you see these things sort of not happening, So, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Uh, I love the talk though, man. This is the stuff that I love, man. As a YouTuber, a gaming YouTuber, this is the type of stuff that I really, really talk about. Because it's so interesting to see how people react. How everybody's all like, Microsoft, we need games on everything. It's options. It's great. It's consumer friendly. And then you look at Sony and they're doing things to make sure that they have a future by keeping stuff exclusively on their content on their console and having their own exclusive content. So you see like two separate worlds right there. And it's it's absolutely crazy to see sort of sort of wow. Interesting. Wow. Yeah, I'm having so many talks right now with people about this. It's crazy, man. I would absolutely just like freak out if this happened because it'd be huge. Because I would love to see Microsoft's um, idea on how to really combat that. Right. So if you're Microsoft, how do you actually go out there and you combat that? I don't know if you actually can or not. That's going to be the tough part, in my opinion. You're going to have to go out there and sort of get people to. What do you do if you're Microsoft, man? Do you just stay the course and hope that people buy your console for some other reason? They're quickly running out of reasons. You can't even play those great Rockstar games on there after a while. So yeah, imagine that exclusive content and crazy, crazy, crazy stuff, man. Absolutely insane stuff, man. Microsoft turning out to be John Pierre. I agree. Microsoft can't go back on what they're doing now. I agree with that too. But remember when I said Play Anywhere would be a huge flop and nobody would care? Yeah. I mean, at some point, you have to give gamers a reason to buy your box. I know that if you're putting it on everything, that it means that you don't have to sell as many boxes, but you're still going to have to want to support your online initiative with Xbox Live. One typical says make more controllers. They're already making way more controllers. How does Xbox not realize that people are interested in their IPs, buy their damn console? Sony realizes that. Yep, I agree. Let's see. Eric says, what if the industry has known about this and that's why Microsoft went nuts buying everyone else available? Microsoft did indeed go after some of these studios like Playground Games, specifically because, there were rumors that Amazon might go after them and things like that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that sort of works out, and maybe Microsoft has more work to do for sure. They're going to have to do something because obviously Sony would have a huge advantage on them in a lot of ways. So Sony knows that their fans would explode if they bought Take-Two. They also know what everyone will be buying the next PS5. Yep. Buy a PS. Here's the thing. Sony's not going to pull GTA 5 off of Xbox or Red Dead off of Xbox. You can't do that. They're going to make a ton of money off of GTA Online right now, and then you make the next GTA exclusive, and you want GTA Online 2 to be exclusive, and people would buy a PlayStation for that. And so that's what's really going to sort of push what's going to happen next time. So it's going to be interesting. Next gen hasn't even started, and it's already looking bad for Microsoft. Bad publicity kills you. Hey, look what killed the Xbox One this generation, man. These rumored this stuff, man. It's insane to see how Microsoft continues to put their own foot in their mouth, man, over and over and over again, just nonstop. Absolutely ridiculous. So, going to be interesting to see how that kind of works out. What does that say? Sony opened more servers in Europe for PS Now. Also, yeah, I saw that. Again, they're working on stuff on the backside too. They're not just going to let Microsoft run away with the whole PlayStation Now aspect, right? They're not going to do it. Yeah. What's up, Def Jam Bam? Okay, see, DJ Singh says, crap, please explain why everyone exclusives are important because Xbox becoming PC infested. Well, here's the thing. Exclusives matter because that's why we buy a particular console. I bought an Xbox One at the beginning of this generation because they had showed off Sunset Overdrive, Titanfall. They were releasing with Rise, Forza Motorsport, Dead Rising 3. They had already teased a new Halo game. They really were impressive to me, and Sony showed off Knack and Killzone, and those weren't impressive to me. So I went with Xbox. You need exclusives, right? So if there were no exclusives on PlayStation, I wouldn't own one since I play the multiplats on Xbox, and other people do it the other way around, right? But since Microsoft had no real good exclusives this generation, or like nothing to really write home about, they've had good games. Don't get it twisted. They've had good games, but nothing like phenomenal that just really blow everybody away like Halo did with the Xbox or Gears did with the 360, right? So a lot of people skipped the Xbox this generation. And so Microsoft was like, people aren't buying our box. We might as well put our games on everything we can. And so that's basically sort of what we're seeing right now. So, well, I don't know, TLR9. I don't know if Microsoft knew about this one in particular, but I'm sure that they were worried about Google. It seems like they're very reactional to Google. So they rushed out that on that xCloud stuff because Google's going to talk about their streaming service here in a few days, right? So yeah, people are going to sit there and talk about it and stuff like that. And, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's so funny to see how all this stuff plays out and how we're sort of just left with sort of differences of opinions and things like that. So would love to see the reactions to this. It's going to be absolutely incredible if it does happen. I don't know if it'll happen, but hell, it'd be great just to see how people react because everybody's like, hey, exclusives don't matter. Let's put games on everything. And Sony out there would be out there buying this stuff strictly to strictly to do this. So, going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Again, I would appreciate it if you guys hit that like button, share it out. Again, my opinion, that's what this is. It's all just my opinion. It's just definitely not, I get it that it's a little bit not positive right now. That's not to say that I hate Xbox or I'm not happy at all with Xbox. I want Xbox to do well, but I want them to at least acknowledge us as, hardcore Xbox fans. It seems like they sort of have lost interest and faith with us lately. And, I really want to see them sort of pay us a little bit of attention. We've been with them for so long, put up with hardly any games for multiple years. We probably won't get any huge games for multiple more years or anything new anyway. In terms of like new IP and stuff like that. So, we suffered through all this stuff and then it seems like they just hand out all the good games that we had to every other platform that basically hated on Xbox for years and years. And that's the part that I take exception with. And I know I'm not the only one. So, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you guys think. Don't you think Sony, Nintendo, Amazon, and Google pushed Microsoft into a third-party gaming developer? I think Microsoft wants to do third-party stuff and they're sort of doing that. But I think that they have to keep going with the Xbox console too because they make so much money off of Xbox Live. So yeah, so Xbox has kind of lost its way. I agree. You know, I agree 100%. You know, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that sort of plays out. I can tell you this much. Um, this this is going to be a hell of a Xbox Nation tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Right, it's going to be one hell of an Inside Xbox, or I mean, one hell of an Xbox Nation tonight, and I'm looking forward to hopefully you guys coming out and checking out the show, and seeing what you guys think, man. I'm looking forward to it, and I definitely love hearing what you guys think and your thoughts and things like that. So let me know what you guys think in the chat, in the comments, all that kind of stuff, Twitter, whatever you guys want. I would appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with me. Have a great day. Catch you tonight again. We're going to hear everybody's opinions on all the news, all the rumors, all this stuff. Have a great one. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.